I feel like a lot of fans, when they get too invested, that it harms their mental state or health.
They actually help these cafes bring in business also because like the fans go there to buy something, right? And then cafes get business during that period. So I'm sure cafes love concerts.
It definitely impacts you well in a way, especially nowadays when you can make friends out of like the fan community.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Chatterbox. I'm Kayum from K-pop K-Pos and your host for today's episode where we are talking all about stan culture in Singapore. And today we have three amazing guests here with me and I'll just let them introduce themselves, okay?
Hi, I'm Singy. I work full-time in marketing and I'm a full-time carrot as well. So fun fact, I'm actually flying to Macau next week. I don't know when the video will come out, but maybe I've already seen them, so yeah.
Hi, I'm Marcus. I actually run a passion project called New Gravity. So it's actually like a digital magazine for all things K-pop in Singapore. So a fun fact about me would be that actually I made friends with a Korean Ajuma last year during my trip in Korea, and we sort of like became best buddies, and then like we exchanged IG and all that. So we still keep in contact. That was like really unexpected.
That's very cute. Hi everyone, my name is Carissa. Online, I'm known as Carissa Hu. I have a K-pop dance YouTube channel and I also do K-pop dance on TikTok as well. I am a ARMY and also a shower. Fun fact about me is I can make the uwu bird sound.
And my fun fact is that I actually do like a K-pop podcasting. I've only recently got into K-pop. People think that, oh, I have a K-pop podcast, so confirm be like listening from Gen 2. I just started Gen 4. We'll start with a short game called This or That, just to break the ice, okay? I'll give you two words, then I'll say 3, 2, 1, and you'll say like either you want this one or that one, whichever you resonate with. Okay, understood? Okay, first up, K-pop or Mandopop, okay? 3, 2, 1.
K-pop!
I do like to Eric Cho, but K-pop still has my heart.
Same. K-pop. Love you. Okay. Blinks or ARMY? The fandom, yeah? Not the artist. Blinks or ARMY? 3, 2, 1, and...
ARMY.
So far, all of our wavelength all like...
Yeah,
On the
we're
same
very in sync
wavelength.
today.
Lead single or B-side? 3, 2, 1, and...
B-side!
Both.
I really like ballads, so that's why I like B-sides a little more.
Some title tracks can slap really hard, but then for certain comebacks, they may not slap too hard, then the B-sides actually make up for it. So that's why I'm on team both.
Pop or ballad? 3, 2, 1.
But I love a good song that gives you depression. Can't be like going so hard all the time. I'll be so distracted.
Pop off!
Pop off.
I'm here for K-pop! Pop off!
Oh my god. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a bit more of icebreaker questions to really get into the nitty-gritty of this topic, okay? Which band or celebrity do you admire the most and why? Basically, what I'm asking you is, who is your bias?
17, and like they're just so relatable that everything they do, like be it on variety show, be it at concerts, you can really feel that they put their heart and soul to it.
It's so hard to choose because it changes over the years and with like new generations coming out, right? So I started with like BTS Jin, then after that it evolved to like NCT 127's Jaehyun, and then now it's probably I got to say TXT's Yeonjun.
Currently, I'm into SHINee. I stan Choi Min-ho since I was 16 years old.
Currently, my number one boy is Felix from Stray Kids.
Oh!
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere!
Yeah, like just randomly I'll be like, Felix from Stray Kids.
Felix from Stray.
Yeah, because in my Delulu head, right? Actually, it's not Delulu. Let me like defend myself. When I was at the concert, I was waving. Okay.
Oh, is it?
He waved to that.
He waved back. But here's the thing. People can always say, oh, but he might be waving to another person. You don't be so delusional. So now here's the thing. I am tall. But what I did was, I stopped myself. So after he waved, and then he waved back. So imagine that is Felix. I waved, he waved back. And then I point at him. He pointed at me back. And then he did this. And then I did this, and he shook his head. Hey, no, this is nodding. He nodded his head. And I wasn't recording.
Oh man.
Never mind.
However-
it's okay. Use your eyes. Take it in.
No need, because the amazing Stray Kids community, right? All the fans around me was telling me, oh my god, Felix just did that. You want me to send you the video? So all of these girls were just like airdropping me videos of like Felix professing his love to me. Because this means I love you, right? In like K-pop, like, I love you. So my delusional head is Felix telling me I love him. Hey, he loves me. So she's why I have to stand Felix.
Oh, you have no choice.
No choice
but to
really.
stand.
If you could live a day in anyone's shoes, who would it be?
Jennie, Blackpink. Oh my god, I would take 10 million selfies. I'm sorry. I just want to feel how to be so beautiful for like 10 minutes.
You don't even want a day, it's just 10 minutes and you're happy.
I just want 10 minutes.
So my answer is the same as Carissa. So I would want to live as Jennie too.
Jennie.
I mean, and then like try on all her Coco Chanel. And I really want to play with her Pomeranian. So
I mean, you can slay.
So yeah.
I think y'all took it very wholesome, right? The first thing I'm going to do is a crime. The person I'm choosing is Christopher Bang Chan from Stray Kids. The crime is go to the computer and take a look at all of the songs he's producing for the next upcoming data track. Some cyber crime thing, which is like...
Oh, you meant cybercrime.
What kind of crime were you thinking, Carissa?
Crime.
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 Or what I'll do is unlock his phone, read all the different idol group chats and see what's the true tea and drama behind the scenes.
Oh.
Who is dating who? Now, since the ice have been sufficiently broken, so let's dive into the conversation, get it?
Dive it.
We're gonna find a bit more about stan culture in Singapore. So the term stan has a multitude of definitions, okay? Urban Dictionary defines it as a very overzealous and obsessed fan. And a mix between the words stalker and fan. So which definition do you think it fits better and how will you describe it? Stalker or fan?
Fan.
Fan.
I think more broadly overall it should be fan.
Should be fan, right? Because I think for those in the K-pop world, we do have a word for stalkers, right?
Yes,
Sasay.
In what ways do fan clubs or organized fan communities contribute to stan culture?
They kind of work with the organizers nowadays, I guess, to really do a very well-structured event, you know, when you are supposed to hold the banner up at a certain point in time. I guess that on the community level, when they organize like cafe events for certain members' birthday, all of them are doing it out of like goodwill, out of their passion for it. So it's really admirable as well.
What actually goes on in there?
So usually the fan will contact the cafe and work with the cafe to come up with like sets kind of thing. So like in Singapore, typically like you have to buy maybe a cake and a coffee, and then with the receipt you go to the manager in a way, and then you get a fan produce merch. If you go overseas, sometimes the scale gets a lot larger. Yeah, when I was in Korea, the one that I went, it was like almost a tour around Hongdae. I've never been scared of cafes before in my life, and that was the day I realized I was scared of cafes.
So is it every cafe is different person or?
Yes.
Oh.
It's different person, different things that they produce, different items as well.
So it's just going on collecting for different.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Actually, like on her point when she talked about like fans going to cafes, right? They actually help these cafes bring in business also, because like the fans go there to buy something, right? And then cafes get business during that period. So I'm sure cafes love concerts.
Business, revenue,
Yeah.
profits.
Yeah, but I think also another thing like where fans really contribute, or where the magic happens, I would say, is on Twitter. Like because everyone's like on Twitter, like finding out where's the latest event, like anyone has photo cards to trade on the day, that kind of thing.
For me, I immediately remember those fan-made videos that they just surprise the idol with at the end of the fan meet or the concert. So I'm always like, oh, that's nice that they did that. I have no participation, but it's nice that somebody put so much effort into this emotional, heartwarming video.
A lot of fans actually consider being a stan or like a certain group or member as their hobby. So what is your take on that?
I think to a certain point, it's not that bad. I mean, like, it requires a lot of time. It depends on how far are you into like the kind of like fan culture. If you build a community within like that fan community, I can see it being a hobby for some people.
Okay.
Maybe you go out together and do certain stuff that only your fan community would know.
Right.
Then I would consider that can be a hobby as well.
But like, at what point does it become a bit debilitating?
If it starts to affect you on a normal like daily life basis, if you start giving up on like your school, your work, your own friends and family, then maybe it's a bit debatable.
I think it really depends on individual, because I have friends who like travel for concerts, and then like every time their idol goes to like a certain country, they will make the effort to make the trip down. And it has reached to a point where they build like international community, whenever she goes to a country, she has friends there that can accommodate her or like give her a place to stay. So it's like she's like Mrs. Worldwide, like Miss Worldwide.
Miss
Miss
Worldwide.
Yeah, like even I don't have that
Yeah.
ability, like I need to pay for my own accommodation and stuff like that.
So all she has to do is just like plane ticket and then like the food.
yeah,
lah.
like hey, I'm coming by this weekend. Can you like cook me up?
Wow,
Then,
that's
yeah,
so... Okay, mental note, make more international friends. Okay.
So I think the phrasing is a bit weird. Like you don't choose to become a stan. You don't choose. You just Taehyung from BTS.
Take me, I am your stan, like that.
Yeah,
lah.
you don't really choose, but I think you choose to collect merch or like collect memories about your idol. Yeah, so I think that is a hobby, and I think I agree with what Sini says. Basically, if you spend so much money there that you have no money to eat or serve your basic needs of living, eating, and just surviving, then you've gone a little bit too far.
On that topic about just mentioned like buying merch for memories and things like that, right? Do you believe that fans can support their idols without purchasing anything?
yeah, I mean brands will still support them. They get a lot of like commercials and brand deals, and even just buying tickets to their concert is already supporting them in a way.
What are your thoughts on like, do we need to buy something
Actually,
just to show
I
their fans?
want to ask you a question. So right, for example, you go to a Blackpink concert, then you see, okay, no judgment, you see those people but like holding the fake light stick, the fake one. The money doesn't go to the K-pop idol, but so what do you think about that? Is it wrong? Is it right?
It's a bit grey area, right?
Because you said they buy the tickets to the concert already, they're there.
Yeah.
But then they buy the fake light stick.
I don't think it's wrong if they can't afford the real one.
It's a
Just because,
budget.
like, you know, in, like, I guess K-pop culture, there's a lot of young fans. You can't expect, like, the kid to... Yeah, it's expensive. I mean, if they want the fake one for the vibe, then go for it.
Go for the vibe.
Yeah,
Agreed.
go for the vibe.
Agreed,
Go for the
agreed,
vibe.
agreed. Okay, now that we know a little bit more about stan culture in Singapore, let's learn a bit more on the impact of stan culture on youth today, okay? So with a rise in fandoms or stan culture, there's a growing rise in parasocial relationships, okay? Described as a one-sided relationship where one party spends a lot of time, effort, emotional energy, or even money on another figure, but the person that they find fascinating do not know that they exist. What I want to ask you is, what do you think constitutes as a parasocial relationship between a fan and an idol?
For me, it would be exactly what we have been describing. So like following everything that you can about them that you can get your hands on legally on the net or on Instagram, following every part of their life and being invested in it.
Do you remember like any particular instance where that relationship had gone a little bit too far? What do you think is like a limit like that like separates from being healthy and then unhealthy?
I feel like a lot of fans, when they get too invested, that it harms their mental state or health. Like for example, if your idol doesn't do what you want them to do and then it ruins your whole day, it impacts you so negatively that you cannot bounce back from it.
Alright.
And then you need to let it out somewhere. You need to send hate or whatever.
I'll make open to you guys as well. Have you seen those like stands on TikTok especially where like aespa fans will attack Viddsee fans and people attacking each other? Do you think that's like taking a bit step too far? Because we get that. Oh, you want to support your idol, that's great. But is that a step too far?
Yes, and actually not just online. Like when you know certain there's rumors about certain couples and things like that. There were fans who actually sent like protest trucks to the idol's building. Yeah, so last year it happened to Joshua. So fans actually sent like protest truck first to Hyde, then after that they sent another round at Hongdae area.
Who was Joshua rumored to be in a relationship with?
This influencer, like
Just a random influencer only.
yeah, so it's not even confirmed, there's no statement, and then like fans just took it too far. They were writing so much hate, and it's just like, where do you draw? Can you like get back to reality? Like, stop.
How should we be more aware of keeping this kind of like parasocial relationships non-toxic or a bit more wholesome?
I think for demanding that you have good venues to hold events like fan meets and whatever. For example, for Shiny, the fans were not happy that they got a very small venue to do the fan meet, so they freaking boycott the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it actually forced the company SM to get appropriate venue for the fan meet. And then even the idols themselves, like the Shiny members, were like,
This is so unserious.
y'all did very good, like indirectly. So I think there's ways that you can support the fan and the community and your idol and make it positive for everybody. Yeah.
Just remember that they are living, breathing people, like they are humans, and you want to treat anyone around you also as how you want to be treated, right? Don't be a stalker, don't appear at their dorm out of nowhere, don't push them in airports and things like that. Like, just treat them as a normal human and don't be weird lah.
The next part I want to ask you guys, a popular TikTok trend that's been going on recently is fans private messaging their idols randomly about random things, okay, in hopes that they get noticed. And that has happened here before. Sometimes like you see like Rihanna, I think, has replied some people, but many people can consider this as creepy. Okay, texting and IG DMing. So do you believe that it's important to maintain boundaries with our favorite celebrities?
I feel like DMs are like fine in a way. After all, there are like fan sites where you can leave messages to them. But if you really want to DM, then go ahead. But the message content, then it matters, right?
Yes.
Like if you start sending inappropriate stuff, if you start sending vulgar stuff, then that's when you cross the line. If you're just sending like a wholesome message, then why not? Yeah, like
Live your day, girl. That kind of thing, you know?
yeah, if you send like strength
You're so
sometimes
pretty,
also, I feel.
you're so handsome.
Just
I
make
love
sure
your
the
dance.
content is respectful.
In a way, because I follow a lot of famous dancers from Korea, and I love to DM them and say how much I love their dance. So I think sometimes like this kind of messages does give them like encouragement as well and motivation. I feel like there is like, how do you de-escalate yourself from going down the wrong path? It's really like needing to understand the fact that they will never know that you exist. But I think a lot of people, they just miss this step, right?
I love how you're saying it so nicely, but what actually is like, reality check. They will not know you. They might never know you. Okay, just now we talked about like all of this, like in terms of personal relationships as well as what we do that might seem weird to other people, but to us it's fine, correct or not? But there are some artists who's like, please respect my boundaries. And one of those more popular one is actually Doja Cat. Go see all the crazy things Doja Cat do online, right? And Justin Bieber as well, who are very, very clear with their fans. These are my boundaries. Do not cross it. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it depends on how long the artist has been in the industry. So, for example, bringing it back to home, like JJ Lin, when he had his concert and then fans took his video performance and then put it with a different audio, and then he went to like social media to say like, stop doing this, like he doesn't like this kind of thing. So he's very clear as to what he's okay with and what he's not. But whereas when it comes to like newer groups, like for example Rise, so when they arrive to like airports and then like fans just keep bombarding them, I think one of the members cried because they are just very new to this. So they're not used to like, yeah. But I'm sure like JJ Lee and people do that, he's like, get off, like I don't care about you. I mean, I'm sure he has like security blocking
I'm
him,
a
but
seasoned
yeah.
performer.
Now that I want to move a bit more to the brighter side, okay, we've talked a lot about pre-dark stuff. I want to talk about how does being a part of a fandom positively impacts a youth mental health.
I feel like it definitely impacts you well in a way, especially nowadays when you can make friends out of like the fan community.
Yeah, I think when it comes to positive impact, there's really a lot of examples. Like one example was when BTS was like the ambassador for
UNICEF.
Yeah, UNICEF. I think that was like a really big statement, and like for their fans was also a very proud moment for them. And then they also had this song like Love Myself, like yeah, when they perform in
the
the
love myself.
yeah,
I love myself.
K-pop group to teach me how to love.
It took a K-pop group to teach us like, okay lah, Shaq, BTS I've been to them myself already, can I hear myself?
Yeah, but I mean they also teach like life skills also, like for like just now you guys mentioned about the fan cafes, right? So like all these young fans, they learn how to like make their own products. Yeah, so it's like in a way they learn like marketing and branding as well.
I think for me, BTS was like not being part of the fandom, but like the music has like a positive impact on me because their music is very like don't care about what society like labels you as. We'll just have our own individuality. Or they have other songs like where they sing about love yourself. So, I mean, it's this kind of encouraging songs / messages that can help me through a tough time and makes me feel like I'm closer with my idol.
For me, in terms of like the positive impact, right? I think that these wholesome interactions that we have with fans, actually in person or even like sometimes on Twitter,
Yeah.
means a lot.
Yeah.
And it's super nice that nowadays we are not looked at in like, yeah, K-pop ah. Now it's like normal. Okay, and now for our final segment, we are going to play a little game. Woo. Okay, this game is called Know Your Slang. I'll say a Stan slang, and if you know the answer, you see the bell, you ring that bell. Okay? Fastest or the most accurate answer, I'll give you a point. Ready? Okay, wow, hey, all your fingers are like... Okay. The first word is shade. What is going on? You like want to tap and then like
I tapped this thing, then my hand bounced off.
Okay, give it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, come. Explain the word shade.
It's like throwing shit or something, like throwing.
What are you throwing?
Why are you throwing?
Boo, we got 10 seconds. I'm gonna.
Throwing shame, like shaming this person.
Throwing shit is like small, slight remarks.
Yeah.
Like, not mocking, but like, well, that's very nice.
It's a bit
If
sarcastic.
You, yeah, if you were 50 years old, haha.
Yeah. It's a bit like a sarcastic remark.
I will give it to you lah. So what I have over here is to throw shade means to throw a subtle and indirect diss towards someone. Roughly all of you had the same point, but since you press the bell, I give it to you.
Please.
Okay. Whoever is keeping the point, not me. You remember yourself, okay? I win 1 point. Okay,
Shade, shade.
Stan slang number 2. Bias. Wait.
Violence.
Yeah, I said bias, not violence. Who is okay,
Violence.
I'm assuming it's you because if you use physics, the thing flew this way. So maybe like you pushed it
It's
there.
my
Okay.
force.
Who is it? What
Bias
does bias
is
mean?
that somebody that you love so much that you prioritize is your number one, that ranking in all of your K-pop endeavors or whoever that you meet, but this person is the number one person for you.
With the passion, I'm just gonna give it to you because you're right. What happens in K-pop slang, a bias is a member in a group that you like or relate to the most. Stan slang number 3. Antis.
Oh,
I need a thing.
actually,
Anti, anti is not.
this one very,
Not
this one
un-
not
Yeah,
it's
easy.
a bit
This one
gray.
not easy.
They are haters basically who just hate on everything the idol do. They can also be like, they are very involved, like a fan, but on the negative way.
Yeah.
Correct. I give it to you because anti, or anti-fan is used to describe people who hate an artist or a group so much, like what you mentioned, that they will actually follow their activities and content as much as they can, just like more than even a fan would do. So, how many points do you have? 2. Correct. Okay, Ken. Stan slang number 4. Fan chant. Oh.
Sorry.
Me.
A fan chant is where during a concert or performance, when you have your idols all in one row and then you just chant their names or their group title.
Okay, I'll accept
Jungkook.
that. I'll give you a point. Basically, fan chants are synchronized chants, so it can be name, can be anything for the song, right? That's performed by fans during live performance or concerts. Stan slang number 5. Locals.
I think I know.
Okay, come.
The locals, right, are people who they just got into K-pop and they're like, I love Stray Kids, 안녕하세요, Opar. It's like the not very into the fans, but they act like they're long fans. I don't know.
Your explanation actually okay, like ish, you roughly get the idea. So for locals, right, according to Know Your Meme, local is the word that is used to describe people who are not down with the current trends or social media behavior. Or like only the popular songs that is always on the radio, like that's the only song they know. You are a local, you're not one of us, okay? Stan slang number 6, we have netizen.
Yeah.
Expected more violence, but okay.
Hey.
Not
yeah,
excited to
netizen.
answer. Not
Just
excited.
like, it's like, it derived from citizen, the word, but
Okay.
people of like the net. So they just leave comments.
In K-pop for netizens, who do you usually just refer it to? Like which particular?
Koreans, right? Like I read, you don't say Singapore netizen. No, that doesn't make sense.
Right,
It's always K-nets.
Yeah, it's just kids. Or we just call it netizens, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen us calling like anyone from any other country, hey, you a netizen. No, it's only K-nets. Then slang number 7. Tea.
Tea is like the gossip, the latest behind the scenes information.
Okay, I'll give that to you. Anybody wanna? Can I give an extra point if someone can tell me the phrase? Okay.
So we're still waiting for dispatch to spill the tea.
Spill the tea, correct. Also, if you already hear the tea already, that means the tea has been what?
Spilled.
Spill or serve. Stand slang number
I need to
8.
pay attention.
See the pay attention, This is the last one, okay? The Lulu.
It's the salute! It's the new
Wait, when he pressed the bell,
I rushed to say Salulu.
Okay. That one I cannot give you points for. But the Lulu.
Delulu is like delusional, like someone's delusional thinking about something that may or may not be true.
It's the salute.
Yeah, Lulu is.
It's a Salulu.
So, okay, I give you a scenario. If I say one day I am going to be besties with Bang Chan and bake brownies with Felix, am I delusional? Am I the Lulu?
You are the...
But is it the Salulu?
It is.
Correct. See, we get it. And we have now come to the end of the game of Know Your Stand Slang. Who won?
I really don't know.
You go point.
Oh,
Okay, congratulations everyone.
You are a winner. You are a winner.
Yeah, you are
a winner.
It's all about, the fandom, K-pop. Together, one family, peace and love.
사랑해.
사랑해요.
사랑해요.
That was an amazing game, and I hope you guys enjoyed. The little segment that we have. To end off, I've actually one last question. The question is, what is one final piece of advice would you just like to share the viewers out there?
I feel like it's really exciting to be a fan, and I personally love the journey of getting to know my idol better and just falling headfirst into the fandom. It's really fun, but I think it's important to ensure that everyone else has fun as well. So I think especially online, it's very easy to leave like comments that you just, at that moment, you feel good about it. But think about the person who is reading the comments, think about how you make them feel, and like the cycle of hate that you're like putting out. Yeah, so I wish that young people would like think about what their words do to other people before writing it down. And overall, hopefully being a fan can be a more positive experience.
Yeah, so I guess like for you guys who are just turning to become fans, I think just enjoy the journey. It's a fun experience. I won't say I regretted any of the things I did in the past, but I think something important is always remember that your idols are humans too, and the fans in your fan community are humans too. So make sure you are respectful, make sure you still live your own life. Sometimes the Lulu is really not the Salulu, as much as we were joking about it, but like just remember you also have a life to live and they have a life to live as well. Just go through it. You might find super close friends, you might find people that will guide you through life as well. Yeah.
At first, it may seem a bit weird because it's something new, and that's usually the case whenever you approach something new. But I think one way to go about it is to ask friends or people around you who may be more well-versed in the topic or in that culture, fan culture especially, and then they can give you a bit more insights. And then from there, make your own judgment as to what you think is within the boundaries and what is definitely not a good example, because these are all online resources available for everyone. Yeah, and I think like everyone said, just enjoy the process, make new friends, and be open to things because you never know where they may lead you as well.
Cute. And for me is, I'm going to touch on something like different. Please spend within your means. I think that's something that sometimes people don't think about. And if you are a new fan who's like, oh, I really want to go to this concert, and especially if you stand a really, really popular group and you don't get to go to this concert because either you don't have enough money for it or you just didn't get the tickets. Don't be so disheartened. Do not be super upset like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. No. Stop. Again, think. There's other ways that you can do to actually just like support them, right? For example, just appearing outside the stadium venue and just support, like you still feel the atmosphere, you still feel the vibe. Just do whatever you can to enjoy and be a fan without not necessarily hurting anyone else or hurting yourself financially, mentally, or whatever.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. BTS tell you to love yourself.
And with that, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much. I'm your host Kayum, signing off. Thank you so much for watching this episode.
If you like this video, please
Like and share.
Comment
And
subscribe!
Annyeong!